Hello and welcome to Knife Delights. We've got another electrician's knife to work on here. Another one from the basket of knives. And this is a Kutmaster. And we can see this one has the fake wood grain on it. The knife's not in too bad a shape, but we do have some rust issues going on. You can even see down here on the bail, we got some rust down there on the rivet or on the pin and on around the bail, which means I'll have to do some sanding on the bail here, get it cleaned up. And one thing I noticed is this has the great big elongated bail on it, and it's set back close to the butt end here. There's what our back springs look like. And happen to have the wire wheel in the tool, so let's just clean that tang stamp off real quick and see what we got. Well, this one looks like it has a model number on it. Kutmaster, Utica, New York, USA, R-2. That's cool. There you can see some of the rust issues we're going to be dealing with. I'll go ahead and hit this tang here. And clean it off just a little bit. Half stop. Well, kind of a weak walk and talk on it, but maybe we can improve that. Oh yeah, there's the R2 again. Always like to see a model number stamped in. Which brings up the point, how many of you are disappointed that some of these knife companies, like Case and some, I think even Buck is doing it some now. You know, they're printing the information on the tang. They're not stamping it in there, and I don't like that. I guess it's a money saving deal, but the printing seems to wear off really easy. Of course, the stamp can wear off too, but takes a lot more use for that. You can see we got some rust here. Now a lot of times I don't use a wire brush on the back. I don't want scratches, but we've got this pretty heavy here. I am going to try using the wire brush. If I do use it, very gently. You see what we can get off. This will be going into the rust remover, so, but if you can give it a head start here, all the better. And these brushes, the steel and the wire in these they're not real aggressive. So like back here on the back springs and that, and on the tangs, I haven't really had any problem with it leaving deep scratches or anything like that. But you know, I wouldn't want to use it on the blades or the bolsters. There you can see we've removed quite a bit. Be a little easier when we pull it in the rust remover. And that's a tough one to get out. Okay, we're going to change up here. Change accessories. That's what makes these rotary tools so handy. It's just so easy to change your accessories out, your tools. Okay, so what I put on there is it's almost like a Scotch-Brite type material. Got them off of Amazon, and the one I have in there right now is like the supposedly like 830 grit equivalent. It's the softest one I have. So you do not want to be aggressive on these blades. You will scratch them. I have used like this one here. This one's really aggressive. It will definitely scratch the blade really bad. So I'm just using some of the good old trusty number 7 rubby compound. See if we can get rid of some of this before we throw it in the rust remover. As I've said before, I try to do this in steps, little steps at a time. It's a little more work, but the less time in the rust remover and things like that, the better for me. The example I've always given is like when you're painting, better to use several light layers than try to throw one big heavy layer on all at once. So I'll just kind of try to remove this a little at a time. The other thing, and I haven't mentioned it in a while, it's not such a big thing on these big heavy knives here. You got thick blades on them and that, but when you're working on like little pen knives or even some of the Stockmans, you know, the thickness of a blade isn't too thick. So you got to be careful not to overheat. And so one thing I've learned is to use this at a slower speed. And you know, I don't push down on it and bear down on it. Just kind of gently let it go over it. Now if you're using like the felt pad, you can bear down on it a little bit. But when you're using this Scotch-Brite type attachment, you just don't want to bear down. So the more of this you can get cleaned off, the better for the rust remover, because if you got a lot of dirty grease and other stuff on here, it really dirties up your rust remover. So it does help keep your rust remover clean. Okay, we're not looking too bad there. Let's look down here in the channels just a little bit. Well, I had to take a little bit of a break there. Where were we? Let's get down into these channels here. We can see we got some rust and dirty oil from when I soaked it in the mineral oil. Now these are the emery boards that used to file off fingernails and such, and I've talked about them. I've really come to really enjoy using these. They've become very handy. Great part of my toolkit. I think it was a couple bucks for a dozen of them. You can see the difference in just a popsicle stick. They're much thinner, and as you can see, you just don't have much width. I mean, that popsicle stick will just fit down in there, but you can't put any cleaning pad or really around it, or it gets too thick and it's hard to rub, and it's smooth, so the pad just moves off of it. And having the grittiness of this on there, it helps the patch stick to it, so you can really get down there and scrub pretty good. Now I can put pressure back this way. I'm cleaning the sidewall there of that liner. See there? And then I can put it back down in there. And I'll kind of put pressure back that way and help clean that off. Well, not too bad. Then we can actually just poke down and push down in there. See what we get out of there. You can use it right here. Yeah. You can see that area right there. Got a lot of rust and stuff on it. Now I can use the wire wheel there too. If you got enough room there, if it's a thick enough blade and it's wide enough, sometimes these wire wheels will fit down in there too. And just be gentle with it. Yeah, you're taking off a whole lot of that stuff. Then you got this spot right here. Really does help to clean that off. Now when you got the liner lock, it's hard to get the wheel down in there, and I don't want to scratch up all the brass. So you can see right down in there, we got some rust. So what I can do there is just take one of the small little screwdrivers here, just kind of scrape on it a little bit. Scrape some of that rust off. See there? Of course, this is all before we throw it in the rust remover. Okay, so now that we kind of got that cleaned off, another thing that I do, you can do it before and after, or do it several times. Got some 600 grit sandpaper here. Kind of gently go over that top of that brass liner there. And you can get down in there and lightly sand, just to loosen up anything you can. Just helps to loosen it all up. There, it looks a lot better down in there already. Now for this portion here, I've stopped using the sandpaper on there. And, well, I'll just demonstrate, even though this is a step I usually do after I've soaked it. But put just a little bit of rubbing compound on there. And stick it on there. And it really does help to clean it. See there? And you can just keep cleaning on it. And it'll shine that brass right up. Okay, I think we're ready to throw her into some rust remover for a while. So let's do that, and I'll be back with you shortly. Well, after a couple hours in the rust remover, let's have us a look-see. This is what we're looking like right now. So let's check down here in the channel, see what happened down inside here. Well, it loosened up a lot of stuff, didn't it? Get this all wiped out. Get those little areas there. They're are easy to overlook. Those little spots like that right there. Okay. So we cleaned out a lot of stuff. That's what it looks like. Now, one other thing that I've been starting to use is a little bit of triple aught steel wool. That's the finest there is. And again, with this thinner stick here, you can push it down in there. And we use it to clean up. Help scrape that stuff off down in there. Clean that rust out. And we can use it right here. Yeah, looking pretty good down in there now, aren't we? You can see our brass is polishing up good. Oh, see all that? Get the little flashlight out here, this little O light. That's so bright. There we go. Looking pretty nice. And check our brass here. Let's just do a little hand polishing on that brass. See if we can get it cleaned up even better. So that's too much. There we go. Let's just do this. See if we can get it shiny, shiny, shiny. See there how it's cleaning up? Let me hit the spot right here. Oh yeah. Now we'll hit the other side. Let's hit this side now. And just kind of keep working on it. See how it's shining up? Yeah. Okay. Now we'll look at our blades here. And let's continue on with the blades. Let's hit them up another time. See if we can get some more of this stuff off. Yep, little by little it comes off. Flip it over. Yep, cleaned up pretty good. So let's go to our half hawk here. Give it a touch up. Get down in that nail nick. Well, this blade's cleaning up really nice. It is kind of hard to clean these tangs on the electrician's knife because of the liner lock there, but gotta try to do the best you can here. Okay. This side, this bolster. Hit the other side. We'll hit this side quick. I think these bolsters are going to clean up really nice. Okay, now one thing should do, and I'll probably do this some more off camera, but take the sandpaper and hit the tops of the blades here and clean them off like that. And I did do a little bit of sanding on the back springs here earlier. And it might take some more. If you can see that brass, how it's starting to really shine. But let's hit these back springs for a minute. Yep, we're going to need a little bit more work on these back springs, but they're coming along. Well, I do want to point out I did do just a tad bit of sanding right there. I think I got rid of the rust there on the bale, and I sanded around here. Pretty much got rid of all the rust on the bale, so that's looking good. Okay, I'm going to probably sand on these back springs a little more, and maybe hit the blades one more time, and then we'll take a look at it. And it's just about ready, I think, for the sonic cleaner. Okay, here's how we're looking. I hit those blades one more time. I think they're just looking fantastic. There you go. Those back springs look wonderful. Really nice. And of course I cleaned down in here some more. Got our brass looking really sharp. Look at this, the brass shine on the back spring, or that divider there. Wow, and the liners. That's looking sharp. Okay, let's throw it in the sonic clean. Whoops, I need to get my gotta have the basket in there. So our warm water or hot water and some Dawn dishwashing liquid. I'll throw her down in here for about 5 minutes. There we go. And we'll let it do its thing. Let's check her out and see what the damage is here. Oh my. Not too bad at all. A little bit of cloudy water. We'll see when we pull it up if anything drips out of it. There's some dirty oil coming out of it there. Overall, not too bad, but it just really helps to make sure you're getting into those pivots and such, and getting rid of everything you can. Let me turn this off and set it back. We'll wipe it off and just take a look-see here. Just always seems to look so good coming out of here. Yeah. Loosens up any of that extra cleaning compound I've had on there. You can wipe it off good. Just really cleans it wonderfully. Oh, look at that brass now. Ooh, nice. Really nice. Okay, you know the drill, since we've had it in the water and soap, why we need to get it lubricated again. So off to some nice clean mineral oil for a good soak. And we'll come back and put some finishing touches. Okay, out of the mineral oil she came. I got her wiped down. Now I did give it one brief go around with the flits already, using this little small wheel here. One of the reasons why I kind of use this up here is no matter how hard you wipe it off, there's always, just a little bit of oil residue there. And when you do the back springs, the vibration causes the oil to come up and out. So I kind of use one of these little pads that gets it dry again. And the first time around it turns really black right away. So usually takes 2 times at least, but actually she looks really good right now. But let's just touch it up one more time here. And I'm really happy with this knife. It's a welcome addition to my collection. I don't know if I already have a Kutmaster Electrician's knife or not. Now sometimes I have the same knife from the same knife maker, but it'll have different covers on it or a little bit different construction. Okay, so when you're polishing, a low speed and very little pressure on here. Here's another reason why I use this bigger wheel, is because you can get these tangs better without worrying about the end of it poking the bolster there. Trying to get it polished out even. It's not always the easiest thing to do. Looky there, look at that bolster. Don't she shine? Oh, that just looks wonderful. Alright. Too bad this blade's all scarred up. This would be an excellent, excellent knife. Because overall, it's in very good condition, I think. There's that one there. Okay, let me work on the back springs and the other blade, and we'll come back with some final thoughts. Well, this is kind of the final product, kind of the final project here. See what it looks like. Look at that brass. That brass just is shining up so nice. Sometimes the final buffing is the hardest part. Trying to get all that extra polish off of there. Try to buff it out evenly. Looking good there, isn't it? Take a look at these blades real quick. So let me know down in the comments, how did I do? Oh yeah. Did you expect it to come out better, or did it exceed your expectations? What would you have done differently? Do you have any good knife cleaning tips, things that you might use? Procedures, products? Yeah. There we go. Yeah. I'm happy with it. It's just a lot of fun restoring these old knives. Yeah. There's that blade. Screwdriver blade looks good. Our brass looks really good there. Look at that. Just rub it off a little bit. Nice and shiny, isn't it? And we look down inside, it's all nice and clean down in there. I think she's ready to be put up and added to the collection. So this has been the Kutmaster R-2 electrician's knife. Now, if you like my refurbishing videos, don't forget, down here in the bottom right-hand corner, I always put a link to the playlist. I've got a lot of refurbishing videos if you want to see more. And again, that middle button there, don't forget to subscribe. So until next time, have a very delightful day.